what the effects would be or what was going to happen, and he wanted out. So that was probably, I suppose, round 1 or round 2 down to me, you know.
Collins used mental calming techniques taught by the hypnotist right up to the bell.
Chris Eubank has used the right class as his own form of hypnosis. I mean, he's got this unbelievable entrance, you know, with the lights, the music, the drums, the sound, you know, and it's very intimidating. And I believe that in a way hypnotizes his opponents and even the people at the fight. So I decided to put on my Walkman and play some music that would help me distract from what he was doing. So I sat in the corner in a very relaxed position, my eyes closed, and totally ignored his whole entrance. I heard a thump on the canvas. I knew this is where he jumped into the ring, you know. So I was well aware what was going on, but I just cut myself off as much as I could. So I'm sure that when he got into the ring and he looked, he realised that his edge with psychology hadn't worked with me, and that scared him.
It was the hypnotist in Collins' corner who had the most power. Tony Quinn had been brought in to train with Collins in Las Vegas and is now based in California. Quinn had previously used hypnosis in hospitals and had been keen to try techniques used in surgery on a fighter. He agreed to meet me at his Malibu home and to discuss the controversial pain-killing conditioning that he claims to have used in his work with Collins.
Tony Quinn.
Greg,
how are you?
Nice to see you. Come in. Thanks.
Far from apologising for using such a powerful hypnotic tool on a sportsman, Quinn advertised what he'd done.
Yeah, no, it's...
He was behind the publication of a brochure published after the fight, in which he set out the amazing powers he claimed to have given Collins. Powers like the ability not to feel pain, to stop cuts bleeding, even to prevent bruising and swelling. Were these techniques not dangerous for boxers?
I don't think it's dangerous in so much as that the body itself is a very sensitive, obviously, instrument, but the mind has such power over that body that it can literally cause it not to bruise in the same way. You're not just not feeling pain, but it's not bruising in the same way. It's not even bleeding in the same way.
I think it would be inappropriate to hypnotize somebody to delete pain to the extent that it might bring their well-being into question. Their continued safety might be threatened because they were totally ignoring pain.
The way that a boxer could deal with pain is not like an anaesthetic.
No. Essentially what happens is that during the weeks coming up to the fight, you train the person's mind to deal with the pain. It isn't that they just ignore the pain. They actually don't feel the pain.
It might be that an athlete is given suggestions to go beyond his or her own natural limitations, or to ignore pain, serious pain, so that the result is a major injury.
It's not just something that you're just saying, hey, I'm really feeling this pain all the time, and a lot of people think that, but I'm just ignoring it, I'm thinking of something else. It's not like that. They don't seem to feel pain in the same way, because you don't have the same amount of bruising and the same amount of damage. And if you notice in some of his fights that Steve got very severe cuts over the eye, but it stopped very quickly because he had this type of control over his bleeding.
Rubbish. I mean, your skin doesn't have an intelligence which can be hypnotized. You can persuade a man that he isn't going to be cut, but you can't tell the skin itself not to cut, can you? So that's a nonsense.
All athletes are always looking for an edge, the competitive edge. Now, they're prepared, obviously, in all the cases, to take drugs. But here you've got your own mind, if you see what I mean, where if you're going to use all of your body, why don't you have a mental trainer if you have a physical trainer? I think the athletes of the future will have mental trainers as well. For instance, there's endorphins and so forth, chemicals in the brain that can take care of pain and so forth, so you don't have to take drugs. Almost, you could really do away with drugs. All the drugs you ever need are in your own mind. I feel it helped Steve even to almost ignore the pain and ignore what was taking place and just totally concentrate on what he wanted to do, which of course was to win the fight. And my real attitude is, you've got a mind, why not use it?
Collins wouldn't tell us about Quinn's methods in detail, but back in Jersey, where he was training for his title defence, he remained adamant that to his knowledge hypnotism had never done him any harm.
No, I mean, I was world champion before I used hypnosis. I'm still world champion without hypnosis. But it can be a benefit. There is times when it can benefit you. And I would probably use it in the future. My experience of using a hypnotist were good experiences. I never got into a situation where it was a danger to me. And I don't want to get into that situation, so if I do use a hypnotist, I'll be very careful as to what is going to be done by him. Or maybe if someone is under the influence of hypnosis, they can, if there's not safety guards put in or safety barriers put in, maybe they can push themselves beyond the limit. Maybe it's possible, but I don't know. We'd have to ask the experts about that.
And of course, most experts disagree. In any case, Collins was about to fight without Quinn in his corner. A year after they'd seen him beat Eubank, the home crowd in Cork knew that although he'd finished with Quinn, Collins was still mentally sharp. Backstage, the fighters were tense, and the psychological battle was well underway.
Not coming at the music!
Neville Brown couldn't go on without his music. As for the champ, by now a real pro at the grand entry, he'd taken a leaf out of the Eubank book. In the fight, Collins proved stronger and more focused than his opponent. They didn't even go the distance, with the ref stepping in to save Brown from destruction in round 11. So if he hadn't needed hypnotism this time, what had been the secret ingredient?
I was born with it. It's just, you know, it's in me. It's in the people that we are. We have a resource in us, the Irish people, and that's brought out. That's what brings out in me, you know. And you're just born with it, you know what I mean?
If hypnosis was just hype, there'd be no problem. But it's not. And amazingly, the British Boxing Board of Control has no policy on it. The whole area is unregulated.
There is no formal registration of hypnotherapists or control in any binding legal way by any government body.
There's a real problem at the moment because you have people who are selling double glazing one week decide to set up their own International Federation of Hypnosis Research College, and they can do that and nobody can stop them. It's terrible. You know, there are tons of these cowboys out there, and people have to be very careful when they go to see a hypnotherapist.
There's always a danger involved when unqualified people operate in boxing in whatever sphere, I mean, or untrained people. And I wouldn't be comfortable with unqualified hypnotherapists operating in boxing.
The Boxing Board are due to discuss hypnosis this month, for the first time. Meanwhile, fighters must play the hypnotist they visit doesn't misuse his powers.
If that happened, someone could really get hurt.